Hi guys, this is EMU, and I've got a band called EMU Verse now, and you are watching and listening to CityFM89 family.
So, Emu, tell us a bit about your origin story. How did you start?
How did I start? Okay, very good question. We were four brothers, and I'm the youngest in the family. So back in the days, my father, he was an avid fan of music and films, Western, Eastern, you just name it. So we were inclined towards music since day one. So that thing, maybe, all, we were four brothers, I'm the youngest. So yeah, what I did, I picked up music. I was inclined towards swing music. So anything my father used to play, I used to, enjoy that in the home. And it was just like that, it's nothing to do with that, I'm going to pursue later on in my career that maybe I'll pursue music. No, I was just inclined towards it. In 79, 80, first heard Michael Jackson, Off the Wall, I guess, that was the album. And then, of course, Thriller. So you can't go wrong on that. That was the time that everything was changing, and we were quite young. I was like, in 81, I was like 9 years old. So you start picking up things, So when you're in school also, and you just talk about not other thing than, your studies or music. So, nothing like it. So that's how I picked it up. So I'm the only one who picked music, by the way. And later on, the 80s came in. So that was the time for me, actually, You get to see all the great videos, all glammed up and everything. So my first band in that order was Aha and Pet Shop Boys. I was a big fan of Pet Shop Boys and Aha because I got to see all these gadgets and everything, and the screens and the emulators and the keyboards. I got really fascinated by that. I said, I'm going to play keyboards or I do music, with that someday in my life. I was like in class 3 or 4 maybe. So when I finished my school, like, metric, I got lucky that, one of my brothers, my elder brother, he was in Japan at that time. So he sent me a keyboard. I wrote him a letter that, I need a keyboard, a small one. He sent me a big, giant keyboard, And I was over the moon, like anything. Didn't know jack about even playing anything, but, I was so happy and excited to see, okay, this is something, I might do. It was frustrating in the beginning. Of course, I didn't know anything to play. I don't know. So I was just fiddle around. But then I got lucky. I met one friend, one gentleman. His name is Kamran Jilani. I have to thank him. Always I thanked him. So he gave me this book, actually. It was a beautiful photostat book of all the modes and the scales and the chord sheets and everything.
So that was pre-YouTube.
Yeah, it was 1989, yeah. City FM 1989, just like that. So,
Yeah.
Back in that day, that was the thing that, I got, hold on to. And there I have to thank another guy, actually. His name is Faakhir Mehmood. Because he was,
That Faakhir?
Yes. Because the photostat book was his, actually. So there's in one of the corners of the first page that it says someone wrote that Faakhir Mehmood from Taxila. So he's an engineer by profession, by the way. Yes. He's a learned guy. So, yeah. So, it was so funny. I didn't know that gentleman back then. So, so we were not friends also. So, I start reading and learning the process and everything. You get to meet great musicians. So we used to hang out, all the friends, like myself and Khalid, the bass player. So we grew up together. We've been friends since 1987. So it's like all our lives. Him, his brother, and a couple of other musicians. Even later on, Adnan Vai, the late, and Faraz Anwar, both of them. So our senior musicians were like Sharif Jafar, Amir Zaki. We used to look up to them, and friends with Asad Ahmed, and other musicians. They were very, very good. So that was the time that we start learning, day by day, meeting fellow musicians, colleagues, like any other band or group or people. So that's how all happened for me actually. And by the way, I must tell you, I'm from Tariq Road. I grew up there. I'm born and raised there. I must tell you that a couple of friends I have, and they are great musicians. One of them is Russell Owens D'Souza. So he was my neighbor also. We used to live in the same building. Alan Smith, the great Robin John, the pianist, now he's not here in Karachi. I mean, moved. But he's my mentor and my teacher. His brother, Bablu Bhai, Donald John, his father, S.B. John Sahab, the great, they all used to live in Tariq Road. Those time, those period was the best time, I guess. So we were learning. We not became musicians, we were just learning and looking up to those great musicians. And I met Nizar Bhai at the same time, in 1992, and fell in love with his aura, and he guided me all his life, as long as I was there with him as an apprentice, as a disciple, I was there. So then I met a couple of great musicians like Shahzad Mughal, Rizwan Khan, from Final Cut. We used to call him, his name is Rizwan Ali Khan, but we call him Rizwan Cut. He's a very famous guitar player, and he's not here in Karachi anymore. They left. So we grew up, watching them and playing with them. It was an honor playing with these boys, I met Jason Anthony. Jason, so he's a dear friend. So I met him actually in 1998, the first time. So we start playing together, start jamming, and I said, who is this guy? This is amazing. He's a young man. Start playing, and Shahzad Mughal brought him over to my place, and start jamming, and we instantly hit it off, like anything. That was it. That's the day. And then Jason and I are, brothers, nothing else, just brothers. So I say many things. I'm just censoring myself, in my heart, I'm censoring. So I've been blessed, to get to know Jason. He's the longest time he played with Fusion also. Maybe 6-7 years. Back to back. And we've traveled all over the globe, Dubai, India, Nepal, Bangladesh, China. Can you imagine China? In Pakistan, everywhere. So it was full of fun.
So what was, like, when you went on your world tour, what was the best place and why? Like, what was the best country or city
to play? Yeah. And why? Okay.
Like the most pumpiest crowd that...
Oh, that's obviously India.
Oh, really?
Oof. Anywhere, Delhi, Calcutta, Trivandrum, Mumbai, Ahmedabad, anywhere, you just name it. Crowd is amazing. They love our music, yeah. They love us like anything. Hats off to them, Played all over the place, even in states, they love us, but, I see the crowd because the language is the same, it's commonality, and, it's very, very, very easygoing thing. So, Dubai and India, because you get to see your other sides of the friends actually, and fans. So it's hats off to that, I still remember, back in the day that we did a concert in Trivandrum. It's down south in India. You don't get to go there. Pakistanis, they don't get the visa over there. So we got lucky and we found someone who sponsored us. So we were there. It was we did a concert in a football stadium, by the way. So it was more than 40,000 people. And when Jason was playing drums, it was like he is somewhere else, just like that. So those were the best time I ever had with my, of course, with Fusion and my bandmates. Too good, and Jason especially. He's a naughty boy.
What you were talking about, do you consider those your golden years? Was there anything after that?
Yeah, to be honest, my golden days were years actually, 90s and 2000s till 2010. Best time ever. Maybe I must say it, recorrected. After 2008, things have changed completely for the music scene here in Pakistan. Before that, it was a golden era for us. 90s was our learning stages. We were getting mature. We were just, learning the ropes to climb up and, in the music industry and the media business. 2000 was like, okay, now we can do anything. So it happened like that, Many things happened in 2000. In the time of 2000 actually. So the best time was, I guess, those bands, all the bands coming up, producing great music, all the band has one good guitar player, drummer, singer, bass player, keyboard player are there to compose or produce, had this energy and the experience to and the guts to do something good. So it was like that in 2000 especially. I mean, if I have to name a few bands, I would be very happy actually. Like Nicolson Band, Noori, Fusion, Aro, Jal, Call. They are good bands, They were doing EP, Yeah, very good band, They were doing good music. And if I'm forgetting some names, these other guys, Azal, there was a Azal band from Karachi, very good band. They were great musicians, and they did some Awami rock music, honestly, and it was very good. And they still are very good. Sometime, you just lose your perspective or focus, I guess. So that's all right. Otherwise, you get to see great music here in Pakistan. Faraz Anwar, Adnan Y, many other bands, they were good bands actually.
But you think a lot of these musicians left playing because there was, like, after a certain period of time, there was no scope for investing because we never had proper labels. We had labels, but they didn't really pay the artists that much, and we were only earning off of concerts. And then at a certain point, there were not so many concerts. Now, this is a deep dive.
Oh my God, it is a deep dive, to be honest. That's a dilemma, I must tell you, in our country, sadly, royalty or loyalty is not there. It's kind of deep, I'm telling you. Because they will never show you the right amount of royalty you get. So that's how you get cheated, number one. You will not get promoted by anyone. You have to do it on your own. Back in the days, the golden era of Pakistani PTV or everything was 70s actually. 60s and 70s were the golden era, not the 80s. Yeah. So there was TV, there was radio, and they were promoting left, right, and center all the music, and you still want to listen to it, you know. Later on, you just learn that you have to do it all yourself on your own. Nobody's going to help you. No, there is no proper record label. There were, but there are most of them are pirates. They used to sell Indian music. They used to sell somebody's work, not paying you. There was no IPO or WPO, back in the days. So we struggled a lot, We've been skimmed, exploited, everything. But the resilience of the musicians of Pakistan, I must, salute them, that we worked against all odds. TV was the biggest medium. Radio was the biggest medium in that order, but we never got the support actually. We never got the support from the record labels because they only want to make money from your work. Until, I must tell you, I have to, record this also. I'm still fighting for my own rights, fusion rights, first album's rights. Can you imagine? It's been like 23 years now. So it's crazy. So you have to fight every single day. So there's no support. There's no system. The government says, yeah, there's something and this and that. What legalized? Nothing legalized actually. You have to do it on your own. No record label will support you for the videos. They will only cut money. It's just like that. So who were the best choices to be in the scene was the singers. They leave band. That's the dilemma, They leave band and, okay, there's some examples, I can say, but most of them, most of them are just, they lose focus, they move away from the country, there's no hope left. After 2008, there's nothing happened. I mean, a couple of, corporate shows are happening yearly basis. And it's all about, to be honest, I don't want to sound bitter, but I have to tell you that, it's all favoritism also. If you know this guy, you will be in this project. You will know this guy, or you'll be friends with, or whatever, give and take happening. They will be part of that show. I'm not part of that show. I'm not part of that lobby. Not at all. I'm not in that zone anymore.
Because everybody likes EMU.
Yeah, everybody likes me.
So these days, it's kind of gone from rock music to digitally made music.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
To be honest, it's a transition. It's a good transition, I guess, because I'm from the 70s. I'm born in 70s, so I can understand that. I don't want my colleagues. Most of them, they hate it. That what's happening here, this is not the music we used to do. Of course, there's pros and cons in between. Digital music is, now everywhere, but it's a fad again. You can do digitally very good music also. It's a hit and miss, still now it's a hit and miss. If you see any shows, one song will be a mega hit and next one is like a trash, So again, it's the quality of listening or quality of production, whatever you produce. If I have to name anyone, like Kafi Khalil, he's a sada, very romantic singer. He has a good voice. He can write stuff and he can sing in Balochi and he can sing in Urdu. Nothing like it. And he made a hit, a blockbuster hit, and he's fine. So this is what it is. It doesn't need a digital, something to do with technology or anything. You have to make it very pure.
Music back in the day compared to today, which one would have been easier?
Today's music.
For concept.
Today's music. It's very easy. Because, now you've got a computer, it's programmed. So, I mean, in that order, electronic musicians still have to sequence, they have to make something out of a MIDI or manual instruments. That's why we used to jam back in the days, Just be creative. Play whatever you're playing and just put a recorder in between, or even your phone nowadays. But you just have to do it, just like that. Just play something, feel the energy. What you guys call it today, it's vibe. You have to feel the energy, nothing else, yeah. So it's just like that. So it's give you that drive to write something, like write lyrics, writing music and everything. So I think that was manual or physical work. Nowadays it's very digital work, but you have to get creative to do something like that.
So, which are your basic two go-to tracks today? For inspiration or just random listening?
Honestly, anything retro music I enjoy. Anything uplifting, I will be like, okay, fine. These days maybe I'm just listening to this young band, Imagine Dragons, right? And there's another band called Midnight. Amazing music. They take me back in time also. Imagine Dragons are amazing. They are very creative. I enjoy that music. I said, oh, that's very good. Yeah, that's very creative. It's uplifting for me, not the cheesy way. It's other music are.
It's heavy on the drums.
Yeah, man. And one of the greatest artists I ever, I'm following this Bruno Mars. Hats off to this guy. Oh, he's too good. And he's a smart guy. He knows what to do.
Fun fact about Bruno Mars: when you said hats off to him, that's not cool because he's like swearing it.
I know that. Yeah, he's a multi-talented musician because he can play drums, he's a singer, he's a guitar player, he's a piano player, he can play bass, and he's been dancing like crazy. Like, he's today's Michael Jackson also, must tell you. So it's just like that. And his music, it's always gives you that vibe. It take you back in time actually. So he can produce anything around 60s disco music or 70s disco music to 80s, ballads and pops and 90s music. He can go anywhere in between.
He's very versatile.
Versatile guy.
Yeah.
Versatile. So, you enjoy these kind of music. So that's my go-to music actually.
So, do you think there should be more of a collaboration between, since we don't have a lot of labels, now there's one big label over here which is doing very well. Do you think like producers and musicians should be on the same page and should help each other out, like the old musicians helping the young musicians out? Because y'all are the veterans, so y'all know.
The young generation, sorry to say, they don't want to know what you have been doing it. They just want shortcut. So that's a tricky part. But of course, being a producer, I have other good musicians friends. They are all music producer and they are doing pretty well. I have to take this name, Kashan Admani. He's a dear friend, and we've been friends for life actually. And we have great respect and regard for each other. We talk hours and hours. Otherwise, we don't talk. And it's just like that. Technically, emotionally, morally, you talk about music, you talk about many things, business and everything. So we help each other actually in that order, because we are evolved, emancipated. We've traveled all over the globe, and we knew that. So what is the benefits of collaborating and helping each other as musicians. So in my book, yes, I'm up for collaboration. I'm up for help to anyone all over the Pakistan. I have many friends. I always offer them, come over here. You don't need to pay. You don't need to do this and that. If I see a potential, I'll help them anyways. So young crowd, even, boys and girls, anyone who's promoting and producing music, maybe they are not comfortable enough, with this lot, because I can understand there's a level of respect in between. So maybe they get shy to express their feeling in front of a senior musician. So they will just coil up or maybe not say what they want. So it's a frustrating thing. So my what I do, I make them comfortable that whatever you are doing it, I'll just recorrect it, do whatever you feel like doing it. That's the idea. They should understand also that it's your music, of course, we're just helping you. They don't have the knowledge of that, all the techniques and technicalities and the musical knowledge or anything. So they want to do it something like we used to do it back in the days. So we used to get help from our seniors also. So it's a cycle you have to repay also. So I look at in that picture actually. I look at that way.
So you are one of those musicians who want to give back.
Of course, to the society, and I'm paying back. I'm giving back to the society in many ways. Through Arts Council, through other various institutions actually.